Have you ever felt tired in a way that sleep could not fix? Not just physically tired, but emotionally tired. The kind of tiredness that comes from always holding everything together, always staying calm, always being the one who handles things. From the outside, people may call you strong. They may admire how composed you are, how much you carry, how rarely you complain. But inside, there may be a quieter truth. You may be exhausted. Because being strong all the time can slowly become a prison, especially when you no longer know how to put the weight down. A lot of people learn strength very early, not because they wanted to, but because life demanded it from them. Maybe they grew up in an environment where emotions were ignored. Maybe they had to mature too fast. Maybe they learned that being vulnerable was unsafe, inconvenient, or simply unwelcome. So they adapted. They became reliable. They became self controlled. They became the person who could survive. And over time, that survival mode started to look like personality. People stopped seeing the pain underneath it. They only saw the strength on the surface. The problem is that constant strength often comes with a hidden cost. When you are always the one who stays steady, people begin to assume you do not need much. They assume you are fine. They assume you will manage. And sometimes, without meaning to, they stop asking deeper questions. They stop noticing your silence. They stop recognizing that even strong people have limits. That is one of the loneliest parts of carrying yourself this way. The stronger you appear, the less people sometimes realize how much you need softness too. And after a while, you may start doing the same thing to yourself. You stop checking in. You stop admitting when something hurts. You stop asking for help because asking feels unfamiliar. Or worse, it feels shameful. You tell yourself to keep going, to deal with it alone, to stay composed, to not make it a big thing. But pain does not disappear just because you become skilled at hiding it. It stays in the body. It stays in the mind. It shows up as numbness, irritation, emotional distance, or a quiet sadness you cannot always explain. There is also another danger in always being strong. You begin to confuse your worth with your usefulness. You start believing that people value you most when you are capable, calm, giving, and emotionally easy to be around. So you keep performing strength even when you are falling apart inside. You keep being available. You keep being helpful. You keep being the stable one. And little by little, you begin to wonder whether people truly love you or whether they only love how much you can carry without asking for anything back. This is where many people become deeply disconnected from themselves. They know how to function, but they do not know how to rest. They know how to support others, but they do not know how to receive support. They know how to endure, but they do not know how to soften. And the truth is, endurance is not the same as healing. Just because you kept going does not mean you recovered. Just because you survived something does not mean it stopped affecting you. Strength can help you get through pain, but it cannot replace the work of actually feeling it. Real healing often begins when a strong person finally tells the truth. Not to everyone, not dramatically, but honestly, I am tired. This hurts more than I admit. I do not want to carry this alone anymore. Those kinds of sentences can feel terrifying if you are used to being the solid one, but they are powerful because vulnerability is not weakness. It is honesty, and honesty is often the first real step back toward yourself. The moment you stop performing strength and start practicing truth, something inside you can finally breathe again. It is important to understand that softness does not cancel strength. Rest does not cancel strength. Asking for help does not cancel strength. Crying does not cancel strength. Needing comfort does not cancel strength. In fact, one of the strongest things a person can do is stop pretending they are untouched by everything they carry. There is courage in saying, I have limits. There is courage in admitting that being the strong one has cost you something. And there is courage in choosing not to turn your pain into silence anymore. Maybe what many strong people need is not more pressure, but permission. Permission to be human. Permission to not have every answer. Permission to lean on someone. Permission to disappoint the image they built around always being okay. Because the truth is, nobody can live well while carrying the expectation of endless emotional control. We were not made to be machines. We were made to feel, to connect, to break sometimes, and to be held too. Strength is beautiful, but only when it leaves room for humanity. So, if you have been the strong one for a long time, maybe this is what you need to hear. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to hide your pain to deserve love. You do not have to keep proving how much you can carry. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to need gentleness. You are allowed to let someone see the unguarded version of you. Because real strength is not about never breaking. It is about being honest enough to stop carrying everything alone. And sometimes that is where real peace begins.